A very good evening and a very warm welcome to all our devotees here at the Buddhist Mahavihara. We are here this evening live at the Buddhist Mahavihara's Dhammadana series, and we are going live on our Facebook page. And this evening, we are have a very distinguished Bante from Sri Lanka, and Bante will be talking about one of our suttas. Um, and this evening, we are actually very fortunate because actually we were struggling to find a speaker, and this Bante actually volunteered to help us out to fill this vacancy, and we are very really pleased that this Bante Dhirananda from Sri Lanka has decided to help us to explain about the Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, and he'll be talking about an analysis of actions based on this sutta. Let me introduce to you this Bante onto the studio. Just give me a minute. Let me see whether we can get Bante. Good evening, Bante,
Good evening. Good evening.
and a warm welcome from Buddhist Mahavihara and
Thank you
to
very
our
much.
Dhammadhamma series.
Uh,
And Bante, let me, for those of you who are not familiar with this Bante, because Bante actually has been with us, I think, once or twice on our Dhammadana series, if I'm not mistaken. And I think last year Bante also had come on this Dhammadana series. So let me just do a quick profile on Bante. Now, Bante is a very young monk. He's actually not very old. He's a Sri Lankan Buddhist monk who was ordained in 1986. Now, Bante obtained his initial education at the Vijayaratna Mahavihara in 1991 at the Malwatu Mahavihara in Kandy. Now, Bante also obtained his BA in honors with honors in philosophy at the University of Peradeniya. He then obtained a postgraduate diploma in education in 2004 from the University of Colombo, and then Bante pursued a postgraduate diploma in Buddhism in 2011 from the Buddhist and Pali University of Sri Lanka. Bante then obtained a Master's of Social Sciences in 2012 from the University of Kelaniya and a Master's of Human Resources Management from the University of Colombo in 2016. Now, Bante is currently an assistant registrar of the Buddhist and Pali University of Homagama in Sri Lanka. So, without much ado, I would now like to invite Bante Dhirananda to talk about this evening's Dhamma sharing entitled Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta, an analysis of actions. Bante, thank you.
නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස් භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස සාදු සාදු සාදු. Good evening, all of you. Dear friends in Dhamma, I would like to thank first of all Mr. Brother Tilak Leslie and Bante Vinita. I was invited by them to do the Dhamma talk today. Then, as well as I would like to thank all the committee members of Buddhist Mahavihara Dhammadana series. So, today I am going to discuss with you an analysis of actions based on Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. As you know, I think you have heard this sutta so many times. Today, I wanted to discuss with you the analysis of actions. Then Thulakamma Vibhanga Sutta says like that. I will explain little by little. The Buddha was staying near Savatthi in Anatha Pindika's monastery. The Subha, the student, the son of Todeya Brahmana, he came to meet the Buddha. Dear devotees, I think you know that story. So the Subha means, the name means he was a beautiful, handsome guy. He wanted to solve some problems. He has many problems regarding difference among human beings. As we know, there are some differences among human beings. We are not same color, that same wealth and same profile. We don't have. So that is why he wanted to solve this problem. The Subha asks from the Buddha, what are the cause? What are the reasons of baseness and excellence? What are the differences are seen among human beings? As we know, you know that we have some differences. You know that as an example, some people short life, some people long life, like that. Then he asks, people are to be seen, seek that long life and short life. Short-lived people, long-lived people are to be seen in the society. That is the his question. That means altogether we can say 14 questions, but that means there are both questions are similar. That means that opposite word, that short-lived and people and long-lived people. That is that opposite word, like that. There are 7 questions, but normally we are saying 14 questions. So then he asks, sickly people and healthy people are to be seen in this society. Then ugly and beautiful people are seen to be in this society. Poor and rich people are seen to be in this society. Low born and high born people are seen to be in this society. Stupid and discerning people are seen to be in this society. What are the reason of that? That is his problem. So the Buddha replied to Subha in the Pali stanza in Chulakamma Vibhanga Sutta, Kammasaka Manava Satta, Kamma Dayada, Kamma Yoni, Kamma Bandhu, Kamma Patisarana, Kamman Satte Vibhajadi Yadidang Hina Panitata. The Buddha's answer is beings are owners of karma, born of karma. That is the translation of that Pali stanza. Related through karma and have come as their arbitrator. Karma is what creates distinctions among beings in terms of sharpness and purification. So, beings are owners of karma. That means we should know what is karma. I think you have already known it. The Buddha says that his stanza, I declare, O bhikkhus, that volition is karma. Volition is karma. Volition means chetana. Volition is karma. Having willed, one acts by body, speech, and thought. That means that in Pali terms, literally means action or doing. The karma is action or doing. Any kind of intentional action, whether mental, verbal, or physical, is regarded as karma. That means thought, word, and deed. Intentionally, we do something. That means thought, word, and deed. They are action or doing. That means karma. So, but we should know that all the things are happening. That means all things are not happening in karma. Karma is one of things in 5 laws of niyama, of 5 laws of universe. There are 5 laws of universe that we call in Dhamma the 5 niyama Dhamma, Utu niyama, Bija niyama, Chitta niyama, Kamma niyama, Dhamma niyama. So likewise, there are 5 laws of the universe, Panchaniyama Dharma, that one of thing is karma. That is why everything is not happening in karma, according to karma. That the Buddha doesn't say that. He says there are 5 niyama dhammas. One of thing is karma. You should remember that one. Otherwise, you misunderstand that all things happening are according to karma, should come. So that Subha cannot understand clearly that Buddha's answer, that being owners of karma, and he said that being related karma, born of karma, related through karma, You know that relate mean that mean our only one relation is come than others, because that our brothers and sisters and our sons and our parents, if we die, they will come up to cemetery, up to cremation hall. After that, we should go alone. That is the thing. That is why the come. But we bring come. That means meritorious and demeritorious things with us. So the Buddha says that stanza karma is what creates distinctions among beings. Karma is creates distinctions among beings. So the first one, the Buddha that replied that she explained details. So the Buddha answered Subha, a woman or a man, a killer of living beings, and he or she brutal bloody handed, given to killing and slaying, showing no mercy to killing beings, doing such things up to break up the body. After death, what will happen? They reappear in a bad destination. They reappear bad destination. So whenever if she or he comes to human world, he is short life wherever he reborn. He is short life. That killing human beings and he that harmful or killing human beings, or not only human beings, all beings. That means he will reappear in a bad destination. If he comes to human world, he is selfish, short life, short lived. So that is the way lead into short life. That second one, second question. He asked that there are some people long life. That means the Buddha says a woman or man having abandoned the killing of living beings, abstain from killing living beings, lived with fraud laid down, or nayus laid down. So he or she has scrupulous mercy. He is merciful person of all living beings and sympathetic for the welfare of all living beings. After death, he or she reappears good destination. If the person comes to human state, he is long lived wherever reborn. So that is the way leading to long life. That question number 3, that sickliness and health, sickliness, third one. A man or woman harms beings with his or her pits with cloths, that using cloths, with sticks or with knives. Usually, the person does such actions after after his death or after their death. The person appears in the bad destination or plane of deprivation. Instead of that, actually, if the person comes to human state, then he is sickly wherever reborn. This is the way leading to sickliness. As we know that these days that COVID-19 and epidemics are all the things. Sometimes we will affect those kind of sick, those kind of epidemics. Then so that is not sometimes this lifetime, because that sansaric life we don't know what should did that our early periods. So that is the sickliness payoff. Then the woman or man doesn't harm beings with his or her fits with cloths, with sticks, with knives. She is not doing such actions. That means the person doesn't harm beings. He is merciful. He is sympathetic person. So after death, he or she reappears in a good destination. Instead of that, if he or she comes to human world, the person is healthy wherever reborn. That means we don't harm beings, we are healthy. This is the way leading to health. Then next question, that question of 5 also, ugliness. The Buddha says, suppose the student, that Subha, the Buddha says that suppose a woman or man is ill-tempered and easily upset, even lightly criticize others, is gross offended, provoked, malicious, and resentful, shows annoyance, aversion, and bitterness, and all the words that mean that ill-tempered. What will happen to the person? That means if he has such action, he is doing such actions up to death, after death, he or she reappears in bad destination. That means if he comes to human state or human world, he is ugly. This is the way leading to ugliness. Ugliness. That means ill-tempered and anger and all the things are there. criticize people, grows offended and provoked, malicious, aversion, shows annoyance, and like that. It is the cause of ugliness. So, number 6, the question number 6. A woman or man is not ill tempered or easily upset. He or she doesn't show annoyance, aversion, and provoke, malicious, doesn't show those kind of bad activities. So after death, he or she reappears in a good destination. If he comes to human world, he is beautiful. He or she beautiful wherever reborn. Wherever reborn at any country, any place, is beautiful. This is the way leading to beauty. That means we don't want to apply any where any sense and that artificial things. Please, you should know ill-tempered person should not be a ill-tempered one. You should be happy person. Then happy person is beautiful. So this is the way of leading to beauty. Then next question, that number 7. No prominence, that means no powerful or uninfluential. The Buddha replied to Subha, a woman or man is envious. He or she envies about others' gains. That means man is envious for others' honor, others' respect, others' reverence, others' salutations, others' resources. Then that means the person is carrying out such actions up to date. So that what are that actions? Envies. They envy others' honor, others' gains, others' respect, others' reverence, others' salutations, and others' venerations. So after death, the person reappear in a bad destination. Whenever he comes to human world, then he is no prominence wherever reborn. This is the way leading to no prominence, because that we should have some power, so we have prominence in this society as monks or as layperson, as devotees. You should have prominence. You are be a prominence person. So this is the way leading to no prominence. Then the 8th one, prominence. The Buddha replied, a woman or man is not envious he or she doesn't envy. The person doesn't envy about others' gains, others' honor, others' respect, other reverence, salutations, other venerations. After death, he or she reappears in a good destination. And if he or she comes to human world, he is prominent wherever reborn. This is the way lead into prominence. So please doesn't envy about others' gains, others' honor. Then the question number 9 that Subha asks from the Buddha, power. What is the reason? The Buddha says a woman or man is not giver of food. That means the man or woman doesn't offer food, drinks, clothes, sandals, garlands, scents, ointments, beds, dwelling, or lightning to priests or contemplatives. That a person doesn't offer food, drinks, clothes, beds, dwelling, garlands, ointments, lighting to priests or contemplatives. That means he is doing such actions up to his death. After death, what will happen to him? That person reappears in a bad destination. That means hell. If he comes to human world, he is poor wherever reborn. This is the way leading to poverty. So you should offer something that you can do, that you have opportunity. Then the question number 10. The person, there is another thing, case a person is a giver of food and he offer food, drinks, clothes, sandals, garlands, scents, ointments, beds, dwelling, lightning, and etc. to priests or contemplatives. He is doing such actions in his lifetime, then after death, he reappear in a good destination. That means heaven. If he comes to human world, he is a wealthy person, wherever reborn. Wherever reborn, that means that any country, any place, that means he is a wealthy person. So please, that means you should offer something to priests or contemplatives whenever you have time, whenever you have an opportunity. This is the that means difference between poor and wealth. So then another thing, that means 11, low birth. Some people have low birth in our society, in the world. So what is that? A woman or man obstinate and arrogant he or she doesn't pay homage to those who deserve homage. He or she doesn't pay respect those who should be respected in society. That means he doesn't offer her or she seat to needy person, needy one. That means whenever you travel in a bus, by a bus or by a train, if there is a needy person who doesn't have a seat, if we can offer our seat, it is the way of doing this thing. That means that person, that woman doesn't offer, doesn't give his seat, and doesn't respect, doesn't pay homage. That means after death, he or she reappear in a bad destination. Whenever he comes to human world, he is low born, wherever he born. Then the question number 12, highborn. That means that doing that means a person pay homage to homage and the respect or respect to respected persons and offer his seat to needy person and like that. Then after death he reappears in a good destination. Whenever he comes to human world, he is highborn person. That is the reason low birth and high birth. So the 13, number 13 is stupidity and discernment. That means a woman or man, he never visit priest or contemplatives, never asks, that doesn't ask what is skillful, venerable sir, what is unskillful, venerable sir, what should be cultivated, what should not be cultivated, what are the demerits, what are the merits, like that. That means demeritorious things and meritorious things. We should ask and we should understand. Other, we never, that person never that ask those things is skillful and unskillful and what should be cultivated, what should not be cultivated. He doesn't ask. That means after death, he reappears in a bad destination. If he comes to human world, he is stupid wherever he born. You know that there are many stupid persons in our society. This is the way leading to stupidity. And last question, number 14, that woman, man, when visiting priest or contemplative, asks, what is skillful, master? What is skillful, venerable sir? What is unskillful, venerable sir? What should be cultivated, venerable sir? What should not be cultivated, venerable sir? Like that, we should ask and we solve our problems. That means doing such a things up to death. After death, he or she reappears in good destination. If he comes to human state, he is discerning but wherever reborn. This is the way leading to discernment. Then this is the answer that is the actions analysis of the action that Buddha says us. Buddha taught us that Subha Manavaka, that young guy Subha, that asks questions and Buddha replied it. So there are 14 questions. That means short life and long life. What are the reasons for that long life and short life, and sickliness and health and ugliness and beauty, no prominence and prominence, poverty and great wealth, low birth and high birth, stupidity and discernment. Then that is, what are these are the reason that we have acquired. So that is why if we do bad things, if we think bad things, if we say bad things, that these are the uh, bad karma, and we can, that means we can reappear in a bad destination. When we do good thinking and we would say good words and we will do good things, then we can reappear good destination. This is the Buddha's teaching. So I think you can understand this that analysis of actions based on Chulakama Vibhanga Sutta. I think uh, you can get good knowledge about that. So then may all you be well and happy, longevity, may attain Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante. Thank you for the explanation on the analysis of actions on the Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta. I think we have a couple of questions here. Maybe you can help to answer them. Let me just post it for you.
Bhante, in this lifetime, we have the chance to meet the Buddha, Dhamma, and become Buddhist. Okay, shall I say the answer? Then we can see the Buddha according to his Dhamma. That means when we teach or when we learn his Dhamma, we can see the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, because that he says that uh, through that means that that one time Vakkalitero see the always wanted to see the Buddha's face. Then the Buddha says to him, "You can see me in Dhamma." Then another thing is because that means that many of that people, many people are Buddhist, but some people are not Buddhist. The thing is that is also come we have done in our past time, because that means luckily we have done good karma. That is why we are Buddhist. That some people didn't do good karma, so that is why they go to another religions and they observe another religion, because that some people, but that means Buddhist all, as well as some religious people, do some good things, but some people do bad things. Buddhist people also, uh, some people doing bad karma now also, because that they uh, got the human life, and they uh, are also Buddhist, but they have done bad actions. That means bad karma. That is why that reason is that we have done good karma. That is why we came to this world and we got this life as Buddhist people. That is why we now also we can practice Buddhism and Buddha Dhamma. I think good question that he asked. I think everyone can see that question. That is the answer. That one. Okay. That five niyamas. You know that five niyamas. That in the past time people think how do something happen in this universe? Is anyone control those? Are there are any reasons for them? A game controller, sometimes controller, or simply controller is an input device used for video. Sometimes we can say uh, various answers, but the Buddha says there are five rules which exist in this universe. We call them as five niyamas, as you know. There is no reason for them, and no one is controlling them. It is the nature of this universe. It is nature that karma also. There is no person, no one to control the karma, and no one can give the good result and bad result. No one, no person. That is the nature. Yeah, Utuniyam, Prastanit Utuniyam. Utuniyam is about the climate change. Climate change, that seasons changing, season changing, but we know that sometimes the normally season, that rainy season and the spring, like that, no. But sometimes it is changing. So that we explain that we experience some earthquakes and floods, drought, tsunami, etc. Reactions of the heat. These things happening, reactions of the heat, gas, liquidity, and solidity make these things happen, and no one is doing those things. That change in the that seasons and earthquakes and floods, no one is doing those. This is the Utuniyam. The Buddha says that is the Utuniyam. Then
Bante, sorry, just one question while you're explaining this Utuniyama. There's also times where human beings are also responsible for causes of natural disasters. Example, deforestation. All these actually causes uh, droughts, causes floods, causes all kinds of natural damage because of human greed and other things. So, how do you explain that? I mean, if you say it's all nature, sometimes we can say it's all
no,
natural or nature, but human greed sometimes takes also a cause, right?
yes, yeah, that is true. That your question is all right. That mean the reason of these things, that mean droughts and the other earthquakes and that deforestation and people destroy all the things. That is why that mean that we that action and reactions uh, occur in this world. So that's why people they're responsible for that, because that they have destroyed the forest, and they have cut down all the forest. That means deforestation, and they uh, break the ozone in the universe, and the universe ozone, then this is the that means the people are responsible for that. That is, there is no that, but that means that Buddha said that change in the seasons and other things is not a karma, but that drought, severe droughts, and that earthquakes, people should be responsible. That is correct. That is not the karma or something that people are responsible, because that COVID-19 also, we know that the people's that mean bad character, they destroy our air. That is why that it people, then after finally people affected from those things. People are affected from those things. Like this is utuniyam, like that. Then another thing is bijaniyam. Bijaniyam is simply about genetics. That Pali language, bija is seed. That is, that parents, that means children get parents genetics. Not only that, not the children, that plants and beings get their parents genetics. That means that is bija niyam. That is not the kam. That the utuniyam, that means that brother Leslie says that utuniyam, some, that mean the drought, and that earthquakes, that peoples that cut deforestation. That is that should be a karma, because that ditadama vedaniya karma that we have to face in this lifetime. That one, yes, that is that bijaniyam, that genetic. Every human, animal, and plant inherit their parents' genetics. They can inherit actions, by speaking, and a lot of things according to their parents. That is the bijaniyam. That Dhammaniyam. Dhammaniyam is a lot of meaning in the Buddhism. But here we discuss the change in everything. Change in everything. In this universe, you know that uh, everything in this universe are subject to change. There is nothing can escape from it. That means that earlier, before 1 hour, I came to for Dhammato, but now I am not that person. I change myself in a nanosecond. A nanosecond, we are changing. So then we are getting old every moment. We are getting old every moment. No one control it, and it's a law of universe. That is law of universe. That means Dhammaniyama. That is not a karma. That means we are getting old, not a karma. It is the law of universe. That Kamaniyama, that one that I think I have explained earlier, Kamaniyama. Then the Chittaniyama. Chittaniyama means the nature of the mind is described in here. A thought can arise and die in a nanosecond. That means the thought can arise and die in a nanosecond. Then after that, a new thought can arise. In a moment, we can only have single thought, and two thought cannot arise at the same time. That is that Chittaniyam. That means we should, I think we should discuss the Pancha Niyama very broad manner, but there is no time to do that one. That is why I explain the Pancha Niyama in briefly. I think it is enough today, I think. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Bante. Sorry. Yes, I think it's a good thing that we spend some time to discuss the Panchaniyama on another day. Thank you for
Yes.
briefly explaining to us at least about Kamma Niyama. Hopefully, you have time soon that we can come on us on this Dhammadana series and explain to us on the Kamma Niyamas and also the other Niyamas, because I think this is quite an interesting subject, because I think many of us sometimes always blame everything that happens on Kamma. Our normal reaction is when something happens, or human reaction is, oh, it's Kamma, it's Kamma. But sometimes it's not. It's as you said, it's also natural phenomena, and also let's say genetics. There is a lot of things that come into play. So not everything that happens in this world is due to karma. So I think it's a good subject that we should discuss soon in one of our Dhammadana series as well. Thank you, Bante, for taking time off to explain this evening's Dhamma sharing on talking about the Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta. And before we end, Bante, can I kindly invite you to conduct the Anumodana?
Yes. Thank you very much. I think we can discuss Pancha Niyama Dhamma later later Dhamma talk. I think it is better because that is the interesting topic. So today we have collected so many merits, the meritorious things, because we listen to Dhamma and we think, then according to the Dhamma, we should practice it, we should live good life according to Dhamma. That is why you have collected, acquired a lot of merits and listening Dhamma talks. Then we can transfer our merits, devas, that mean the deities. May they all be well and happy, and may they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then after that, devas protect you. So then we transfer our merits, your departed ones, and may your departed ones be well and happy. Then finally, may they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Then you and your family members, and then the Buddhist Mahavihara Dhammadana series, committee of the Dhammadana series, Brother uh, Leslie and others, and all the listeners of Dhamma and devotees, may you be well and happy and long life. Finally, may you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva nāga mahiddhika puññantang anumodittva ciran rakkhantu loka sāsanam sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante. Thank you so much for spending time with us this evening, on this Friday evening. I know you're a busy person. We actually appreciate your time and also your effort in trying to conduct this evening Dhammadana session with us on our Dhammadana series. And we look forward to your participation again very soon. And I think with Bante Vinita's help, we will schedule another Dhamma session with you, and we will talk about the niyamas a bit more further, right? And on behalf of the Committee of Management and the monks of the Buddhist Mahavihara, let me take this opportunity to thank you, Bhante, for your time. And also to our sponsors this evening, thank you for your sponsorship to ensure that this program is able to proceed every Friday and every Sunday. And also to all our listeners and our viewers throughout the world. Hope you had an enlightening evening with us this past 1 hour. So look forward to seeing you again on Sunday. And with that, have a pleasant evening. Sadhu.